my mind. Things paranormal talks in the dark. Secrets buried leave a burning mark. We interview the dead, we debate the unknown. Chasing shadows where the seeds are sown. Fingers tapping on a Ouija board. Broken silence like a shattered chord. Eerie hums in the dead of night. Is it truth?
Well, hello everybody.
That went smoothly for a chance. Just this one time. But
Yeah,
now
time.
he's in the background, curling. So we might be thinking, am I going on or am I not? Well, I share it out, so everything is live now. I checked it, so
Very
that's
good.
perfect. Let's start. We're supposed to have a very interesting guest. He promised to come on tonight,
Yep.
and I made a stream already, and um, our Shane was having contact with him,
Yes.
and he read the message and he ghosted us. Probably we're not big enough and there are no followers to gain, but I suppose he started with 100K when he started doing his podcast on YouTube back the
Yeah.
days. So let's go to,
Well, we got another person
yeah.
last minute, and he is a good friend of ours, and he is part of our network. And he is Wayne. Wayne, the only one. There's only one Wayne, and he's back in the car. Hello.
Hi,
Hey, thanks for having you on. It's a good thing. We talked about it earlier this week.
yeah, definitely.
Hi, Wayne.
I know.
Hi, Jimmy.
So you shouted out, why do you need him? I can debunk as well. So we're still doing the topic. Because if Wayne can't debunk it, it'd probably be interesting.
Yeah, I like to. I go into things with an open mind, but I will always look for a scientific approach first, rather than just saying, "Oh my word, look at that! It's got to be a ghost. It's a spirit." Like a lot of people do. I will always go straight for what it is first, before I go down the road of saying what it isn't. If you get what I mean. So I will always say, well, we've just seen a shadow. Well, did you see it full on, or did you see it out the corner of your eye, the peripheral vision, or have you heard this from somebody else, and so on and so forth? Where was it? How far away was it? Looking at all possibilities first. And that's the best way to debunk something. But picking up a video and scrutinizing it without actually physically being there, speaking to the people that recorded it or witnessed it firsthand, that's not what I would class as debunking.
No.
You would physically have to be there to be able to debunk something properly. However, some videos that are out there on social media, you can clearly tell is AI or photoshopped. For example, I posted a TikTok earlier on of me dancing like Michael Jackson in front of the UFO at Rendlesham Forest.
Yeah, Wayne Jackson.
There is no way I can dance like that. So I could honestly say that was AI because it was done through CapCut.
I actually thought it was real. That's how you go.
Somebody would say that is real, and somebody did say in the comments, while we're out investigating on Saturday night, I am going to have to recreate that dance.
No way.
No.
No. There is no way I'll be recreating that dance. I'll try, but there's no way I'll do it. But so yeah, it's awkward, and it's horrible to. I don't like to diss people that stand there and say, "Oh, well, I'm the best person at debunking videos."
Yeah.
That, you know, it's like in the paranormal field when we turn around and say, "Oh, you're an expert," or they give out awards for the best investigators, and I'm just thinking, why are we doing this? Why have we got an Oscar award for the best investigator? You know, we're all after the same thing. We're all after evidence, and we want to share the evidence, not necessarily to blow your own trumpet and get recognized and, oh, look at me, I've caught the first manifestation of a ghost. The fact that someone was able to catch that should be all the accolade that it gets as it is.
Agreed.
You know, and there are a lot of people in this industry that do exactly that.
Agreed.
And I couldn't care less. I share my photos out. I'll share my videos out, EVPs. And if people want to stand there and say, oh, no, that's rubbish, that's fake, then that's their opinion.
Yeah.
And I'll just keep sharing what I get. And in all honesty, it's few and far between. The evidence I catch may not necessarily be in the hundreds every year.
No.
I might only get 3 or 4 things that I think warrant being shared out there. And I think that makes a big difference.
It does. Definitely does.
Yeah.
But we don't share that much either. Because
No.
it's not worth sharing.
No.
There are some EVPs that are very, very soft. We can hear them because we trained. But when I put it online, people are like, yeah, I don't hear anything. No, I know. I'm not going to put it online anymore.
And the thing as well with a lot of EVPs is you don't necessarily notice it
No, true.
when it happens according to the EVP. So you could ask a question and record for 30 seconds afterwards. You won't hear the answer, but when you play it back on the EVP, you could go, say, 15 or 16 seconds in, and you hear something, and you're like, I don't remember hearing that when we recorded it. And I can't remember which application it is, but I think it's Lex voice recorder.
Yeah.
And it gives you the spikes. It actually gives you a graph of when the sound spikes come in. So you can easily go back to it and go, well, we know that there was nobody saying anything then, but when you look at so many seconds in, there's a sound spike. And everybody was quiet. So I've combated that one by actually putting the device down on the floor or on a shelf, and I've set it to record and I've walked out. Because then that way it rules out any personal movement within the location that could make that sound appear on there. And if you combine that with locked off cameras, you can prove you walked out.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And that's all it is all these people that can debunk things. You've just got to look at finding ways around it so that they know that you haven't faked anything. And then when you get the TV shows that stand there and they're pumping out episode after episode, and I'm like, hang on a minute, in real life, we wouldn't have got that much evidence in that space of time.
No, exactly. Exactly.
So
But that's still weird with me. But people believe it.
It's still powertainment, and it's what people want. It's TV, it's Hollywood, and if you believe it's the real deal, well, okay, but it's entertainment.
yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure about other countries, but I know here in the UK now with paranormal shows, you have to have a disclaimer at the beginning before the program starts, saying that this is for entertainment purposes only, and that covers the backs. So if someone actually takes it for real and goes, oh my God, they've caught a ghost, then you've got to sort of, rather than sort of sharing it out and going, oh, so-and-so caught a ghost, they're like, no, they didn't, because if you look at the beginning, it says for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
When we film for Truth Beyond Paranormal, we don't have to do that because we're actually just going there, we're filming it, but we're also doing a live feed at the same time, and it only goes onto the internet. So people are able to see what we're doing right from the start, live feed. And then if they look at the episode and we've got, I don't know, 45 minutes where we're in a cellar, but only 3 minutes of it pops up on the actual show itself, they can look back at the live feed and watch the entire 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Including that little clip. So we can then get away without putting for entertainment purposes because we've done the live feed alongside it.
Yeah, exactly. Good idea to do, Mary.
Yeah, it's very smart. But I hate to see myself in a live feed, and I hate hearing my voice. It sounds so off. And if we capture anything, I shout out.
To be honest, I used to be like that myself. I always had jobs that I was either on my own or I was out the way from the general public, so I never got involved with anybody. And then when I started working for my parents' coach company, I then had to start dealing more with the public. And it took me out of my comfort zone because I was talking to the customers as they were getting on the bus. I had to give niceties. So I had to sit there and go, good morning or good afternoon, how are you? Enjoy your day at this place, blah, blah, blah. And had to be nice and sweet because at the end of the day, they would go around with a bag collecting tips for the driver. So obviously the more polite and well-mannered and talkative you were to them, the likelihood was you would get more tips.
That's always a good thing.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
So that sort of boosted my confidence a lot more. And then doing that and then starting doing more in the paranormal, the confidence just went through the roof. And now I never really sort of take notice of my voice. All I know is it's quite deep. And that's it.
And it sounds different if you hear it back, because you hear my voice like it actually is. But when I hear myself back, I have something like, oh my God. But I'm the female Jekyll and Hyde. And my job, I'm polite, I'm well-mannered, I never curse, I speak in public because I work at a museum. So I have to tell people, and sometimes even big groups, what they have to do, what they are looking at. So, but if it comes to the paranormal, if Shane handles the camera, I don't have a problem with it. But if I have to do it myself, I know there's a camera. Yeah.
I think that's the best thing, watching your P's and Q's while you're out.
Yep.
I mean, I try not to. I think that's why it was my idea for to have a blooper reel at the end of each episode of Truth Beyond Paranormal. Yeah. When we first started 6 or 7 years ago, a lot of the bloopers were all me, and it showed. That was because of my confidence and my inability to remember the lines that I was using for the historical side of it.
Oh yeah.
So at the beginning, most of the time when we were trying to give out the history of the location, I would have the line set out with what happened in the area, and I'd always manage to forget it. And we'd end up doing 16 or 17 takes just for one sentence. And over the years, I've got better and better at remembering the line so that when it comes down to it, I can just give out that one line. But then I tend to make silly mistakes, like not walking in the right direction. Or the only loose brick that I can find on the wall or on a floor, I will find. And I end up tripping over it. The very first episode we filmed was at RAF Upwood in Cambridgeshire, and the idea was for me to walk out of the administration building, and there was a set of 5 steps, and the idea was I was to walk out to the steps and take the first 2 steps and then stop. I walked out, I was saying the line, everything was perfect with the line, and then I misjudged where the second step was. And I stumbled down the rest of the steps and ended up flying forwards. And it was hilarious because at that time we had 15 people in the team.
Oh my God.
And everybody just cracked up laughing. And I'm like, I suppose I better go back in and start again, hadn't I? So, and then we had incidences that were out of my control. We were filming in another admin building, and there was supposedly a dark shadow would dart from one room to the other and go along the corridor. So I was standing in this corridor, and the whole line was supposed to be a dark shadow had been seen darting from room to room along this very corridor. And as I started to say the line, my partner's mobile phone went off. And it was the starting theme tune for The Little Mermaid. So as I'm walking along, I started the line, and then all of a sudden you hear do 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 do, and I'm like, really? So that ends up in the blooper reels right at the end. So all of the possible cock-ups we could come out with end up at the end of the show. And it, in a sense, has made the show so popular just for the blooper reel. You know, falling down the stairs. That, again, was in the very first episode. I literally stumbled. And as I was stumbling, I completely messed up the words that I was saying. And I just came out with just random words. Hadn't even got a clue what I was saying. I just went blah, 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 as I was stumbling down the stairs. So it just goes to show there is real life out there.
Oh, yes. Definitely. There definitely is. Yeah, I can remember one teammate from me, but we didn't get it on video. We got it on photo. That's even funnier. Because you see the photo go, pet, 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 pet.
Yep.
He jumped.
I mean, when
jumped off a
when
bunker.
it's not so bright outside, and something like that happens, that makes it more fun.
Oh, yes. Hell yes. Funny as hell.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm still hearing The Little Mermaid now.
It was so embarrassing. There's me. I just grabbed hold of my knees. I've bent over. I'm going, oh my word. And that was it. We were laughing for about 15 minutes. My partner, she puts her phone onto flight mode, and I'm like, are we safe to? Can we carry on now? She's like, yes, it's on flight mode now, so I shouldn't get anything come through. I'm like, right, okay. Bad timing.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, normally you expect if things like cars driving past or a motorbike or something, and then you get something like that happens, and it just changes the whole scene. But when something like that happens, that gives off loads of positive energy.
Yeah.
And that has been key to everything. I do it with my events. You know, I make sure that I try and boost as much positive energy as possible. And I will have a laugh with people, get people in high spirits as such. And it shows then that when they go out on the investigation itself, everybody is quite chirpy and happy. And that energy then comes through. And it tends to find that more things happen because that energy is so high. When people go in there and they're all like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I'll hold this cat ball and hope it goes off in my hand. I'm like, you know, we need to G you up a little bit, you know. So we give the guests a bit of time to mingle with each other, chat about what they've done in the past, what events they've been to, locations and so on, so that they get to know each other, and they're not standing in a room with someone they don't
Yeah.
know, and that then changes the whole atmosphere. So we like to keep things nice and positive. And even when we sat there with iPad onto YouTube for Truth Beyond Paranormal's YouTube channel, and I've shown the collection of blooper reels, and the amount of times where we've had big groups of people going, we've really got to watch this. This is hilarious. Watch what happens next. And we're like, yes, that was me. That was me. I'm sorry. But it makes all the difference.
Yeah, it does.
So I think that just goes, rather than just sort of filming an investigation and going, this is the evidence, get on with it, and leaving it at that until the next episode comes out.
Yeah.
We like to mingle things up. You've got the honest sort of reactions to things that happen. You've got, unfortunately, with our director and our producer, a bit of foul language. And she has been told time and time again she needs to sort of calm it down a little bit. She's like, yeah, I know. I've got to remember to do that. I've, watch my language. We go out to the next investigation, and the first thing that happens is her swearing again. And you're like, seriously? You're trying to create a good image, and there you are coming out with all these expletives.
Duct tape.
and that's not good. So we get there in the end, though. So we just say we'll just bleep it out.
It's a lot of bleeping.
Yeah.
It is sometimes, yes.
Yeah, that's why I always take duct tape.
That's a good idea. I think I'll remember that.
Always works.
Well,
Yeah.
I do need some sign before my face. Yeah, when things happen, my face, it gives it all away. In the clip Shane made, you see me sitting, and the REM pod went off for about 10-15 minutes, and I sat down, and it was silence.
That happened before as well.
Yeah, and my face like, what the fuck?
I think that was probably because it knew you were standing there. It wanted you to stay standing. So the second you sat down, it was like, well, if you're going to sit down, I'm not going to do nothing.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah.
I must admit, I did an I was invited to an investigation by a public events group. I won't mention their name because they are starting to do quite well now. They'd only just started off, and they weren't quite 100% on what they were doing, and they invited me over so that I could see what they were doing, how they were doing it, and what could be adjusted. And unfortunately, I only made it about an hour and a half into the event because it was so disorganized that I couldn't stay, and I ended up leaving and going somewhere else. And that was because everybody had, up to the point where they arrived, they booked and paid for the event. The guy was standing there with everybody's names on an iPad, which was fine. They showed their email receipt, which was fine. And then he turned around and he said, right, if you go down to my mum, she'll take your tea and coffee order. And I'm thinking, I know this location. What's she going to do? Is she going to go down to the local cafe? They don't have no electricity in there. So I'm like, she must be going off out to get the coffees. So she's standing there with a clipboard, writing down whether everybody wanted tea or coffee or hot chocolate. So I'm like, right, we've gone in. The very first vigil that we did, we had, I think it was about 36 people. We were all given cat balls, and we went into an ammunition room, which was underground, underneath a gun emplacement. And everybody was in the same room. And these two ladies were asked if they wanted to do the Estes method. And I thought, well, you should only have one person doing it. But no, it was two ladies. They sat down, they got their blindfolds on, they got the earphones on. And he said, and he'd obviously sort of told them what they had to do, just repeat any words that come into their head or through the earphones. And so these two ladies started coming out with random words. Everybody else is around the outside edge of the room with the cat balls in their hand. And they're just messing about with them. And I'm like, the guy that's running this hasn't even told them they need to put them down and stop throwing them about the place because you want the cat balls to move. Excuse me, but it was like a disco. All you could see was red and blue lights flashing all over the room. And these rooms were all painted white. So all the lights were literally shining all throughout the room. So I'm like, okay, this is a bit strange, really. You need to have separate groups going into different areas. Yeah. Then this lady says, do you mind if I put my REM pod down on the floor? So he's like, nah, go for it, go for it. So she picks it up. She puts it down on the floor, switches it on, and it just would not stop going off. It was constantly going in all directions. And I'm like, I walked up to the guy that was running the event and said to him, have you told everybody to turn their phones off or put them on the flight mode? Or have we got multiple spirits in this room? And he went, oh, I forgot to tell them. So well, that's the reason why the REM pod's going off. So, of course, he says, oh, everybody, I forgot to tell you. Can you turn your phones off or put them on flight mode, please? What happens? The second everybody put their phones on the silent or flight mode, it stopped. The REM pod just went completely flat. And I'm like, I can't believe this. And, of course, all these people are still standing there shaking the cat balls. And I'm like, nah, this is crazy. And after 3/4 of an hour, I'm looking at my watch thinking, well, it must be tea or coffee time in a minute. Next minute I know he's gone. 6 people have wanted to go off on their own. And he's gone, okay, yeah, make sure you're out by 10:30. And I'm like, hang on a minute, aren't you sending a team member with them? So these 6 people have just gone wandering off. Some of the areas were not exactly advisable to go on your own or without somebody that knows the layout. And they've just gone wandering. And I'm thinking, this is crazy. He hasn't even sent a team member with them. Another half an hour passed and he said, right, it's tea and coffee break. So I'm like, okay. So everybody's coming out of this underground bunker, handing over the cat balls, putting them in this great big plastic tub. We've gone into the hub room and there's this man's mum has got these 2 camping stoves up on the counter and she's putting kettles on top of these camping stoves. And I'm like, if she's only just put these on, we're going to have to wait 20 minutes before the water's boiled.
Yeah.
No one's going to get a cup of coffee. So I just stood outside, I had a cigarette, and when the guy come out, I just turned around to him and I said, look, I'm sorry. I said, but my kids are out kicking off at home. I'm going to have to go and help my partner out. And he's like, no problem, Wayne, no problem. He says, well, come back to us soon. He said, well, I'll send you a message when we do another one. I'm like, yeah, okay. So we've gone out, I've got in the car, and I've driven from Colchester to Bury St Edmunds in an hour, which is normally about an hour and a half drive at normal pace. There's a little confession. And I had been asked by that team to help with a group of people at their event. So I just quickly phoned her up and said, look, I'm on my way. I'll be there in an hour. By 11 o'clock, I was there, and I was taking a team round a control tower at an old American Air Force base.
Cool.
And it was so much better. But I just let them get on with it. But this group now are using a vehicle as like an attraction to try and boost ticket sales. Look at our spooky bus. And it's just literally a blacked out van with ghosty logos on it. And I'm just like, caption underneath saying, "Come and see the ghost bus," and I'm like, seriously? You know, try actually sort of something a little bit more catchy. You know, you're not going to come to your event just because you've got a blacked out camper van.
Not only that, but this proves that you cannot just host an event like that if you don't know what you're doing.
No. I mean, he wanted constructive criticism, and unfortunately, he doesn't like criticism. If he sees he's doing something wrong, then he will alter it. But he doesn't like other people telling him that he's doing it wrong.
Mm.
And I'm like, you know, if you're going to have camping stoves doing the boiling water, then you need to make sure that a member of your team has got that water on the boil for when the first vigil finishes, so that when everybody comes out, they can pour themselves a cup of coffee straight away, not wait 20 minutes and then pour it. Because then instead of having a 15-20 minute break, you've got a 45-minute break.
Exactly. Takes a lot of
Which
time.
means they've got less time investigating, and that's what it's about.
True.
So we've done away with things like that. If we've got a location where there isn't any electricity, we have toyed with the idea of having camping stoves. But what we do now is we turn around to people and we say, there is no electricity at the location. We will be providing cold drinks. If you want to bring hot drinks, then unfortunately you'll have to bring a thermos flask and so on. But we have got someone coming to our event in November that is going to bring her camper van with her.
Oh, that's cool.
And she's going to bring it into the grounds, and we're going to be using her camper stoves in her van to boil the water. So I will then just make sure that either myself or one of my team will make sure that water's put on the boil for when everybody finishes each time.
That might be a good idea. Yeah.
You know, it's an easy way around things, but this guy really didn't think of that and just went for it, and everybody was standing around for ages.
Yeah. That's not going to work.
No. I mean, I come out with weird things we like: cartons of milkshake, cup drinks, cans of Coke, things like that, or an energy drink if anybody wants them. And we just say, right, help yourselves, go for it.
Yeah.
You know, 9 times out of 10, though, a lot of the places have got electricity in, so we've got a tea urn there and the tea and coffee making equipment anyway.
Mhm.
So it's the very odd occasion where they haven't got electricity.
Yeah, it's
that
the very, very
you have to
old
make
buildings.
alternative arrangements.
Yeah.
Well,
Did you ever on TikTok get tagged in spooky videos, ghost videos, so-called ghost videos, where you had to debunk it?
I follow a creator called The Other Side,
Yeah.
yeah.
and I'm quite good friends with him. And Matt every now and then will send me a video that he's been given, and he's gone, "What do you think of this?" And quite a few times I've turned around and gone, AI, straight away.
Yeah.
But I have had I've had a few where I've sat there and I've gone, I'm going to have to look over this again, and then try and find where the original video has come from,
Yeah.
and actually look at that person's profile to find out what else they've put up. Because sometimes that's a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah.
They'll make a video, they'll send it to someone like The Other Side. He will then air it and react to it. And then people will comment, "Nah, that don't sound right, that don't look right," or whatever. But if you actually look at that person's profile and find they've done similar videos before, just in different situations or different locations, yet the same thing is happening,
Yeah.
the alarm bells start
Yeah,
ringing, and you think, well, hang on a minute, that's not quite the way it should be. So I have called a few out with him, and he's gone, yeah, that does make sense. And I do like watching his channel. It's quite funny when he does do that, and he just looks through different videos. And he did one the other day where he was asking people to jump scare. He was I think he was playing one of those horror games, and he was playing a police officer, and he had to find 5 missing bodies, and he'd got the first 2, but the second it gets dark, he can't make a single noise, because if he does, these weird zombie creature monster things come chasing after
I
him.
think I know what you're saying.
So of course he was asking, he'd got up on the screen, jump scares. So I thought, right, we're going to wait. So he's walking around this building, and I'd seen what appeared to be a pair of legs coming out from behind a wall. And he walked straight past it. And just as he did, I sent the gift on TikTok for the jump scare. So, of course, he jumped, he screamed, and the person that was sitting behind the wall got up and chased after him. And he's going, Wayne, don't do that, don't do that. So, of course, it caught him, and it had to restart. The same thing happened again. And, oh, it was just so funny. And he spent about an hour. When he thought he was getting somewhere, I sent a jump scare, and he'd have to restart the game again.
He asked for it.
Good fun.
He asked for it.
It's funny.
Yep.
It's really funny. I missed that because I follow him as well, but I missed it.
Yeah, I mean, Matt's. I have put a thing out for Matt to come up to my event in Harwich in November, but because he lives down in Portsmouth, it's difficult for him, obviously with children as well, to come all the way up here. So he said to me, he says, "Oh, I'll ask the missus and see if it's okay to come up." So it would be nice if you could.
Oh, cool.
But we've got some quite some influential people coming to this event. We have TikToker Midlife Crisis 101X coming along. He normally does car fails, so people that drive their cars into flooded roads and destroy their cars completely. We did an event with him last year. Oh, was it last year? Yeah, I think so. I can't remember now. At Sessions House in Boston. No paranormal team had ever investigated there, ever. And we were the first and only team to go in there.
Cool.
And it was all arranged through him. So we've invited him along to this one. We've got a YouTuber, Tom Sunderland, that does a lot of motoring videos, but he was also at Sessions House in Boston, so he's coming as well. We've got Kelly from Paranormal. She's coming along. She's a TikTok creator as well as paranormal investigator. And we just recently did an experiment and study with her at 30 East Drive in Pontefract. And the paper has just been handed in, so we're just waiting for the all clear on the paper, and then we're allowed to explain what we did.
Cool.
Because if the paper is accepted, it will be the first time in 50 years that this evidence has been able to be confirmed and used as evidence.
That's exciting.
Because the last time this particular type of paper was put in was back in the 1970s.
A long time.
And because the man that did the experiment did not use protocol. And so because he didn't use protocol, it wasn't accepted. Whereas this time round, we've gone down the full protocol. We followed everything word for word. And so hopefully it should be accepted and take it from there. But we're going to be doing another one February next year, I think. And I think that's down in Cornwall, the Jamaica Inn.
Cool. That is very cool.
And it's only going to be the 4 of us at that one, so that's going to be pretty good.
It has to be.
I'm looking forward to it. So she's coming along as well. And then we've got Nick Stepani.
Yes.
Great friend of mine, Nick Stepani. He used to be on Daz Black's Ghost Hunt and a couple of other ghost hunting shows on Really TV and various platforms. He's coming along as well. So we're going to have, it's literally going to be a full house, but there's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of positive energy involved. And because it's the Halloween special, we're going to be having fancy dress as well.
Cool.
So
Very cool.
it's going to be a good night, and I'm really looking forward to
Yeah.
it.
And
Understandable.
you went to Rendlesham Forest.
Yes, it's my excuse me, it's my favourite go-to for my alien research. we do with Truth Beyond Paranormal. We do cover all forms of the paranormal, so we will do cryptozoology and ufology as well as ghosts and spirits. And our director Sam had said to us once, "What shall we do for September?" The venue that we were going to go to has let us down, so we need somewhere else that we can go to. So I said, well, I've been saying for a while now, let's go to Rendlesham Forest. It's the home of the UK Roswell. So she was like, right, okay, we'll do that. So we arranged all to meet up. And from the word go, something was out. Something just wasn't right.
Okay.
We got there. There's a car park at the end of the runway at RAF Woodbridge. And that was where, a little bit further on from that car park is the East Gate, which is where the first sighting of the lights in the forest was seen.
Yeah.
So we're standing there. I'm filming the introduction. So I'm saying, welcome to Truth Beyond Paranormal. Tonight we're investigating Rendlesham Forest. And as I'm saying that, this white pickup truck's coming down the road towards the gate. And I'm like, okay, I can understand a security patrol around the perimeter fence, because I used to have to do that when I was in the Royal Air Force. But they stopped and they just sat there, even though that particular area is part of the UFO trail at Rendlesham Forest. So they're used to seeing tourists. So we just ignored it. We finished doing that section. We then went down to the bottom of the runway, still on public land, filmed another bit, and they turned up there as well. And they just sat there watching us.
The hell?
We then packed everything up again. They disappeared, only to find that they'd left the base, had parked up inside the car park on the edge of the base. And as we were walking down, they were standing at the end of the footpath watching us walk down. Then it got really bizarre, because as soon as it got dark, we're all standing around the alleged UFO landing site. We could hear footsteps, and we were all accounted for. But you could tell the difference between a rabbit, a fox, a badger, or a deer compared to a human's footsteps. And you could clearly hear somebody walking around the outside perimeter. We were shining torches everywhere. We couldn't see a thing. I'm standing at the UFO with my co-host of the Dark Mirror radio show, Mark Manley. And Mark we said, oh, look, what's that? And we saw these two solid white lights. And they were going from west to east. But as they were going eastwards, they were getting further apart from each other. They were spreading out. We stood there and we watched them go. We thought, well, that's a bit strange. Then we saw on one side of the clearing, solid white object just hovering above the trees. Then it vanished. Then Mark turned around and said, there's one on the other side, look. So I said to him, is that the same one? I've turned around and looked. There's another one just sitting there, hovering. That too vanished. As we're looking in the easterly direction, we noticed we could see one going from south to north, but it was making a wave pattern, so it was going up and down as it went. We're like, nah, that's really weird. That's not right.
Yeah.
That's not, a normal pattern for an aircraft. Then Mark turned around and went, Wayne, look up. And I went, what? So I've looked straight up, and no word of a lie, all I saw was this big, massive black triangle. We knew it was a black triangle because you could see the shape. The moon was out. It was about 3/4 moon. There was only a few wisps of clouds, and the moon was shining its light and illuminating the clouds. But these clouds were going underneath this object. You could see all the stars in the sky, yet where this black triangle was, there was no lights, no stars in that black triangle, apart from one white light in each corner.
What the hell?
Mark, as quick as anything, he's put his camera up. He's taken 2 photos. I've taken a couple of photos. As I finished taking my picture, it just shot off in an easterly direction. Mark was like, the radar tracker. So he's gone on his flight tracker. No objects in the area whatsoever. And then as he's looking, 2 F-15s from RAF Lakenheath come in from the west and go straight over in an easterly direction, straight after the object. And all that night, we just kept feeling that somebody was out there watching us. And we think that they knew something was coming over. And so they were keeping an eye on us to see what we were doing.
Oh,
Makes sense.
that is a good possibility, yes.
Yeah.
It's so strange. It really was weird. But as a result of that, I love going back there every time. As soon as I get a chance, we go on, you know what, kids, let's go for a trip to Rendlesham. And we'll go and spend the afternoon up there.
Yeah.
To the point where I've paid for an annual pass for the car park. I'm like, that's it. I'm going to buy the annual pass because it will be so much cheaper.
Yeah. If you come there often, then definitely will, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
But me and Mark want to try and hold an event there if we can. We were going to try and do one for this year. But we probably may have to leave it till next year or the year after because there's a lot to organise. We've got a lot of permissions to get to have stalls there and various bits and bobs that we'll need. So it's probably going to take a lot of planning, but that's what we ultimately want to do. Is to have like a Rendlesham UFO convention.
cool.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And I think it would be really good. And I think it would get a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
I think so too. A lot of people are curious, like myself.
I mean, it's at the moment, it's not just Rendlesham Forest. There's been a lot of UFO sightings going on around the world at the moment. But again, with AI and Photoshop, it's now starting to get difficult to actually single out specific videos or from what ones are real and what ones are fakes. Simply because AI is getting so good. So I think having something like a convention in a location like that is good because it will bring like-minded people together, just the same as a normal ghost investigation. It brings people that either want to believe or do believe together as one group where they can talk about their experiences. And I think it's an awesome idea to hold something like that because why not? And when you've got 3i Atlas and Swan at the moment, which is doing some really weird things, it's something now that is building interest with a lot of people. But it's deciphering the ones that are real and what ones aren't. Because all it takes is for someone to say, well, we got a radio message through, but it says this, and it scares people. And then another person will put a message up saying, well, I got a message came from 3i Atlas that says, get the kettle on, I'll be there in 15 minutes. And believe it or not, there will be people that will believe it.
Yeah.
And there's so much information or so much stuff coming out now about it that it's almost like they're blindsiding everybody. They're just coming out with so many different things that people are now getting confused as to what it is and what's it doing.
True.
And I think they're trying to push people away from the truth, what's really happening. And I got a sneaky suspicion. I don't think people will know the truth until it's been and gone,
I agree.
or whatever is going to happen has happened.
Yes,
No, for sure.
they still ridicule it, and first they don't know what it is, and afterwards they saying it's us, the drones, and
Yeah.
you see it in different areas with the violence. People don't even look. They don't even scare because it's so pushed on TV, on everywhere.
Yeah,
If
it's
there's a
normalized.
shooting, people don't care. And
No,
it's the same with the UFOs.
it's normalized.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think it's because over the years it's been drip fed. It's been pushed out on radio, TV, movies, and the idea of something else being out there and coming to Earth, or us going out there and going to them, has become such a regular occurrence now in movies and TV that people are becoming more and more accepting of it.
yeah,
So if and when something does come, we're going to go, yeah, and
exactly.
Yeah,
we're not going to be surprised. We're not going to go running around screaming. And I think that's quite possibly what they've been trying to do, is they're trying to get us used to the idea. But even when you look at the religions, when you dig between the lines, you'll see there that they still talk about specific beings, not from this
Yeah.
earth, but from further afield. So, you know, it's looking at that and reading between the lines and going, well, hang on a minute, this doesn't make
No.
sense. Because the Christian Bible mentions the Anunnaki, but not the actual name, the Anunnaki. They are the shining
Yeah.
ones. But things like the Book of Enoch actually mentions about the Anunnaki, and it got removed from the Bible. So, you know, it's shifting things to suit themselves to start off with. And now, because they've lost the grip and the control over the masses, they've sort of conceded and gone, that's fine. Right, what now we are going to have to do is we're going to have to bring this in to try and get people used to the idea.
exactly.
And so something like this, Three Eye Atlas, you know, come out with all the different stories of what's going on. The last one I'd heard was the there was a signal that was sent out in 1977, or with the Apollo mission. The signal was sent out, and they got a reply back. And the guy that actually noticed the signal simply wrote the word "wow" next to it.
Yeah, the
paper.
wow signal.
Yeah, the wow signal. Now, apparently, someone has done maths, and I think it's the original, the guy that actually got the signal back. He's done the maths, and apparently, it's come from Three Eye Atlas.
Okay.
Because Three Eye Atlas came from the same area that the wow signal came from. And they reckon that they've done the maths and it's come from Three Eye Atlas. But then all of a sudden you get another one where they're saying the sun has done a coronal mass ejection. But it's been the biggest one we've ever known. And it went straight to Three Eye Atlas. So they're saying, is the sun some sort of Death Star, a battle station or something? Yeah. And it's seen Three Eye Atlas as a threat. So it's sent this coronal ejection at it to either destroy it or throw it off course. But it just seems all a little bit too coincidental. And now they're saying NASA might have to launch satellites to go round to the other side of the sun to keep an eye on what Three Atlas does once it's gone past it.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what Three Eye Atlas might do once it gets round the other side of the sun. Someone's scared.
Yeah, it has to be.
And I think it's the higher ups. They've seen this object. They want to keep an eye on it so they know what it does when it gets to the other side of the sun. And our telescopes and satellites can't see it. So they want to send something up there to keep an eye
Yeah.
on it.
They want to keep the control.
They
Yep.
want to control everything.
They do.
But that's the thing. But because of social media now, they're losing the
Yeah.
Yes.
control. So they have to bring out laws to stem the use of social media. But then that's when you've got the freedom of speech argument. You know, creators will turn around and say, but we should be able to put what we want in our videos. We shouldn't be curbed on what we say. But as we say, the powers that be are losing that control and they need to keep a hold of it. So they'll go to whatever measures they can
Yeah.
to allow that to happen. It won't work.
No, they're losing it by the month, maybe even by the week.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's what it is, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is.
You know, it's always been one person or a group of people having that power over others. And that should not be the case.
No. And as long as everyone battling each other, we're too busy to notice some things.
Exactly.
Yes. Yep. And I think that's why they try to sort of blindside you. I mean, me and Mark have always said on the Dark Mirror radio show that for every authentic video you find on social media, you will find 1,000 fake
Yeah.
videos to try and push the real one
Yeah.
out. And we reckon that the governments of the world have got people employed in social media to deliberately post rubbish videos and fake videos so that it pushes the real one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could apply for a job like that. And a few years back, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a chatbot. And it's dangerous. It's really dangerous what they're doing.
I think ethically I couldn't do it.
Me neither.
I could not sit there and create a video to purposely lie to other people.
No, it's against my
I couldn't
belief.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as a believer in ghosts and the possibility of cryptids and UFOs, I could not turn around and create a video knowing it was fake and say, "Oh, look at this! Look what we saw,"
Mhm.
knowing that it's a lie.
Yeah.
Because that's not what I do. I go out there, and if I film something that I think is paranormal, then I will post it for other people's opinions. I'm not going to post it and go, "I've caught a ghost" or "I've caught a UFO." I go, "I caught something strange. What do you
Yeah.
think?"
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell people it's a ghost or a UFO because I might not be 100% accurate. My eyes are getting old, so I might not have actually seen what I saw. So I let other people say to me, "Yeah, I think that's a ghost. I think it's this. I
Yeah.
think it's that."
That's the best approach.
So my daughter's just come out of guides.
Well, we're at an hour, so
Yes, we are. And we for sure are doing the sequel and for the Dark Mirror
Of
show.
course.
Yeah, and we can talk more about UFOs and the cryptids in England.
yep.
Yes.
Then we invite Lois.
Yes, I wonder. Do we? Yeah. I don't think you'll get to talk about cryptids. You might get to talk about something
Yeah.
else.
I'm afraid so.
I don't even can pronounce it like she does.
No, only Lois can.
It takes some doing, but you'll get there
Oh
eventually.
yes, definitely will. Wayne, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
And we see you again tomorrow evening.
Yes,
Yes, in
indeed.
the mystical carousel.
I'll be
Yep.
watching.
Yeah,
It's a good subject tomorrow night. We're actually going to be talking about new technology and experiments.
Yes.
I love
So
it.
Like I
it's
said, I'll be watching.
I think it's worth talking about because it allows people to actually come out with more theories on how they could get evidence.
True.
Yeah,
So,
True.
very interesting. So we'll be on tomorrow, and
Will.
Shane will be watching.
Just because
keeping
just
an eye
because
on
it sounds
things.
very, very creepy and all. Oh,
Wow. We had someone here who played soccer. He did with his eye.
Oh, I got something in my eye. Oh, hang on.
I'll be watching you. Oh my God.
I must admit, I'll be watching you before and actually blink my eyes. I'll be.
I have safety glass.
Yes, me as well. So that's it. And who have we got next week? Do you know? I
I have
think
no idea.
on Wednesday,
Tony and
Paranormal
Cherie.
on Wednesday, Paranormal Mischief, a small episode, 1 hour, and next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next week on Saturday, we have live Staticon.
Yes, yes.
Nice.
Could be interesting. Could be interesting. Yes.
It will be. So everyone, thank you who was in the chat, all the watchers and participated. I hope you had a blast. We had.
We did. Definitely. We'll see you next week.
Brilliant.
Microwave.